Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Mattsquatch. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. Today, we're going to talk about something that I've been researching a long time, listening to many stories, and been looking at into years, keeping notes on, is the many different types of Bigfoot and what people are seeing in the woods, the different types of Sasquatch. Most people are kind of familiar with the four basic types that kind of been going around. It seems to be the benchmark. Well, upon looking at it, I think I've discovered more or less about 10 different types. Let's jump into it. The first one you see here is the classic, the number one, what everybody thinks of as the patty type. Now, these are most likely omnivorous, shy, a little more gentle. They're very large. They're about the biggest species of Bigfoot out there. They're very gorilla-like if you wanted to give it an analog to the animal kingdom. This is the one that most people think about with a Bigfoot. I think they're a little more shy, but they could be very powerful at the same time. Now, the second type is what a lot of people refer to as a wood booger, a type 2. These have a little more like canine teeth. I think they're a little bit more human-like. They're a bit smaller than Patty. I think they have a little bit more relic hominid in them than the type 1s do, although I still think they're very, very animal-like. They're a bit smaller than a type 1. If the type 1s get to 12 feet tall, these probably get to 8 or 9. And the type 3 we have is also known as a gugwe, or sometimes that people refer to them as like a dog man, but instead of a canine foot, they have a forward foot. So basically like a type 2, but with a snout. The Beast of Seven Shoots is a really good example of this. The bear man that was caught in somebody's rear view mirror when they were backing up with the protruding snout. That picture, sorry, I don't have it here, is a good example. The type 4 is one I couldn't really find that much information about, but what I could find is these are the closest thing to a relic hominid species. Either some kind of Neanderthal variant, but I think probably farther back than that. Probably more like a Heidelbergensis by the way that they're built. They seem to have a lot of more human-like features, not be as big, but still very large compared to an average human. They can still be very aggressive. The type 5, to steal this from Duke, from what I found out, these are the more northern, scary type creatures. They're a lot like a type 1, but they have big teeth and they primarily eat meat. These are what we want to call like a Wendigo, or in the Northeast, a Genosqua, the shining ones. These are sub-alpine, the big claws and big teeth. These are very dangerous, very aggressive, full predator. Kind of like if a type 1 is a grizzly bear that eats roots and berries, this is a polar bear that eats meat exclusively. The other type of creature I decided to throw into this list, because people do see them and people don't know what it is the mountain giant. Now, very little is known about these things. This is people have very real sightings of these things in Montana and Alaska and different parts of the Pacific Northwest, and going on up into Canada into very extreme regions. As you can see from some of the scales, I mean, these things get up to 20 foot tall, 22, 23 foot tall. They leave 3- and 4-toed tracks from what I've heard. They have large lower canines like tusk. The other one I wanted to include, as you see here, is the dog man. I know, I'm just going to kind of gloss over this. I know he's not really a Bigfoot type, but the fact that people see him in the woods along with Bigfoot, and he tends to have the areas, and I know the Choctaw Indians and other people have stories about Bigfoot and Dogman fighting each other, and I know they're also seen along the border along with Bigfoot. So I couldn't mention Bigfoot without saying this, because I know people have ended up seeing these. Now, here's something I only heard about somewhat recently within the last year. This is called the devil monkey, or I'm referring it to as type 8 on this list. They're small, they have a tail, they're a lot like a killer baboon, half dog, half monkey, strong hind legs, great jumping, very fast. I guess people are encountering these things too. The type 9 I'm going to call is a Ohio Grassman. Seems to be about human-sized, maybe a little bigger, a little more robust. These might be related to a type 4, but a different variation of it. They have dark black fur. They're kind of a little smaller. If you've seen the recent video of the black thing digging in a graveyard, I think that's what we're talking about here. Now, the final one I'm going to talk to you about today is the little people. Now, they're these small 1 to 3 foot tall little beings that are covered in hair. They can be very aggressive. They like to cause trouble. They're mischievous. And people are seeing it. It's almost like they're protecting something. Anyway, Mattsquatch here. Just wanted to say thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.